Nakuru becoming now the first county to vote the highest number of women in those 8 elective positions. And I've interacted with some of them, and you can clearly tell there's something they've brought to the table before this election. They merit to what they merit to get the positions they have gotten. So is this going to shape the trends moving into what you'd call a progressive democratic space? Carol.
I'll answer that. You asked about culture, and when we talk about culture, because this is my field, we have to be very we have to be aware that there are many cultures and traditions that are invented traditions. When people say in my culture women are not, which culture is this? Some of these traditions are actually invented traditions. And we also have to be very aware that the whole enterprise of colonialism actually misinterpreted, and you know, there's a disconnect from what our cultures actually were. And some of them were not as hostile towards women as some of these people would want us to imagine. So is it an opening up of the democratic space? I think it's just an opening up of society that we have seen in this country, especially. We are out here as women. We are, you know, we are going for things. And the population, not just women, is agreeing and saying this person is worthy to be a leader. I still go back to Meru, Kawira Mwangaza, who was an independent as a women's rep in 2017. And then she presents herself. She makes the jump from women's rep to governor. And she's running against 2 giants, Mithika Linturi, Keraito Murungi. These are stalwarts, these are ethnic kingpins, so to say. And she trounces them, and she trounces them emphatically. So, yes, there are many other factors at play, but I think the opening up of the space, and I think the voters in Meru were also looking at the track record of these other gentlemen. Did they deliver? Probably not. And so they're looking here and they're saying, we want a leader that listens to us, a leader that you know, will deliver. And that leader happened to be Kawira Mwangaza, you know. So for me, I find that very exciting.
And I want to lead us to the Bomas of Kenya.
Yes.
But even just looking at these agents and chief agents, we have Caroline Karugu, outgoing deputy governor, Nyeri County. We have, I saw Charity Ngilu there.
Yes.
I saw Gladys Sholay there.
Yeah, Sholay, yeah.
Prof, it says a lot.
Yeah, no, definitely. Also, I mean, we are seeing these people also occupy positions within the parties and so on. And I think those who are not incorporating this are going to see a lot more trouble in the near future. Yeah, because for me, I think we're starting to move into a situation where the leaders who are being elected, the leaders who are, you know, representing the different groupings and so on, are starting to reflect society. And this thing that we are talking about of culture, I think has been more of, we can call it cultural capture, or like Caroline was highlighting, that, you know, people come in and exploit the negative aspects of your reality and then convince you that you're like that. But you're not actually like that. If you ask yourself, how is our society like? One, our society is very youthful, and I think we discussed that yesterday. Our society is 50% women. Yes. And we discussed that you know, yesterday. Our society has high levels of poverty and so on, and we discussed that. How is that mirrored in our leadership? I think what you're seeing is you know, some little attempt by political party leadership, and even for those who are being elected, we are seeing a movement that is starting to reflect how society is. How was it before? The way it has been before, generally, is and everywhere around the world, is that the rich actually create a clique that rules forever. I don't want to get into the dynasty thing, but if you look at the House of the Lords in the UK and its history, that the landed aristocrats would basically, you know, create this clique, and the one, if you look at it deeply, they were very different from the rest of society, whether in terms of you know, demographics, in terms of age, and so on. But what you're starting to see is that you know, if your formation is so radically different from the general look of society, that you might actually lose in an election. Yeah, so we're starting to see more young people being elected, and you know, there are places where if you put in